Welcome back to CEEN Caribbean News. It's now time to go in depth. Christmas is the happiest time of the year for most people. While some people are indulging in the joy that the Yuletide season offers, there are others who are prone to depression at this time of the year. Studies have also shown that suicide rates tend to hike during Christmas. What is responsible for that trend, and why are some persons prone to depression at this happy time of the year? We explore these questions now with psychologist Dr. Leakim Samaj. Welcome to In Depth, Dr. Samaj.
Glad to be with you.
Now, what are the causes that what causes some persons to become depressed at Christmas time?
Well, there's a broad notion called seasonal affect disorder. When you get, especially in the temperate climates where the days get shorter, it gets dark earlier, it's cold and it's dreary, that provides a backdrop. So in Europe and North America, that framework is there. Now in the Caribbean, we don't have it's not as clear with that kind of seasonal component, but we have our version of it. But then now the social and psychological plays a much bigger part in our instance. As you said at the opening, for most people in our cultures, Christmas is anchored from childhood as fun and family and excitement and pleasure and getting gifts and parties and all of these things. You're off from school and, children look forward to that. You are the one getting all this fun, doesn't cost you anything. But life intervenes and now you are much older. You are the person responsible. And you can look at it in terms of, say, even many people children are grown and are away. The grandchildren are even further away. They're not coming home for the holidays. And you are alone. You have nobody else around you. All the people that you were associated with and all the fun and the joy associated with this time of year. The more you hear the Christmas songs, the more you hear the ads, the more you hear the music, it just serves as a backdrop on the emptiness of your life. And that drives you furthermore into yourself, into realizing that something is wrong. And before you know it, you get closer and closer and deeper into a very dark place.
Now, one of the cries we hear from a lot of persons, especially in the Caribbean, is that they are short on cash. Does the season, which has become so commercialized over the years, allow for persons to become depressed because of their financial situations?
I can't. We as a culture, we have talked ourselves into that hole. If you ask them, tell me when was the time we weren't short on cash? The only time you can think of is the time when you didn't have to do one spending, when your parents were doing all the spending. There was never any such time. It's a fantasy we get into, and because persons have socialized to believe, if only I had more money, I'd be happier. And all the evidence shows us that that's not true. But we hang that on. If only I had more money. If only I was richer, I could. No, the evidence shows that the thing that is most important is what we have just been talking about, the quality of the relationships that you have in your life. So that's when you were a child and somebody pays for the gifts, look how many times you give a child an expensive toy. And the child spends all the time playing with the box, playing with the wrapping paper. So that it is something, it's a rationalization that we tell ourselves that if only you had more money, then you would solve the problem. And what it means that you're stuck in it because you'll never have enough money.
Now, for those persons who are saddened despite the festivities this time of year because of the loss of a loved one, how can their remaining loved ones help to alleviate that pain?
Well, no, I don't start from there. You see, I start from the person who's feeling the problem. There's a wonderful Jamaican saying that whoever all meet, seek fire. And yes, it would be good if your loved ones would come home or come over to be with you and call you and so on. But you cannot impose change on other people's behavior. I say you start with yourself. You who are in that situation, you start with you. It's a very important spiritual and philosophic position that you become that which you desire. You become that which you desire. You want happiness and company and camaraderie. Sometimes the closest that you could look is the person in the apartment next to yours. Somebody on your street, somebody at your church, somebody in your community, somebody at work. There are many, many people who are around you, close to you, in the same position as you. You be the one to reach out. Listen, I'm home at Christmas. My children are coming over. Come over now. Or I will come by you and I will bring my meal and 2 of us eat. And before you know it, all right, you spend Christmas with me, I spend Boxing Day with you, and then somebody else will spend New Year's with this other person. Start right where you are with what you have. You become that which you desire. You want company? Offer somebody company. You want gifts? Offer somebody gifts. There are always people who are in your situation or even in a worse situation than you. You offer to give. You offer to be the one to reach out. In reaching out, someone will reach back to you. Start there.
Now, for others who are depressed because of financial reasons, where does society begin to offer help?
You see, again, you still keep going there, but I do not start in that position. You see, there's a notion that no one has a responsibility to save you. There's a mentality that says that somebody is going to save you. So we really have to start helping our people to understand, to listen, wherever you are, that which you have, we start there. Now, there are organizations, there are church groups, there are civic groups, there are companies that this time of the year reach out to other people. That's all good and well. That's wonderful. But I think we've actually created another dependency model in the region whereby this notion that it is somebody's responsibility to make you comfortable, to make you happy. We have to start teaching our people otherwise. Nobody has that responsibility to make you happy. You are responsible for your happiness. So happiness is something that you bring to a situation, not that somebody gives you. So we have too much of that in our region. So the more you tell people that it is somebody just to reach out for them, you be the one to reach out. You are the one with one banana, all right? Offer to share your one banana with the person next door with no banana. You're the person with no banana. Well, offer to help the other person who has one to peel theirs. So that we must start from the position that wherever you are, whatever you have, the Bible talks about the widow's mite. The person with nothing. So that we really have to start from that perspective. And I never start from the perspective that there is somebody else, it is their responsibility to make other people happy. You are responsible for your happiness.
Okay, and a serious issue that we see coming out in reports that suicides spike at Christmas. Are these reports accurate?
Anything that increases depression also increases the probability of suicide. Now, once someone is in a state of depression, once someone is starting to talk about suicide, then anyone who is close and around, the most important thing for you to do is to not leave that person alone. Because by leaving them alone, opportunities, circumstances can happen. And remember, suicide, most of the time, suicide is a reaching out for help. One is interesting gender difference between male and female suicide, which emphasizes this issue about help. Most female suicide, most people who attempt suicide are female. But most people who are successful are male. Because the female oftentimes takes overdose of tablets or slits a wrist. But then you call the people in your phone book and you leave the drugs available so people can see exactly what you took. Men tend to use a rope or around the neck or a gun to the head, which that call out for help, nothing happens. So that people who commit suicide, who are, say, attempt suicide, it's saying, I need help. Those people around you, people you work with, people who you live with, people who are close to you, and you see signs of them asking for help. We have responsibilities in terms of, can we reach out? Can we just be there for them? Can we just be a voice that they can hear, someone they can talk to? Because the most important thing is to not leave that person alone. So that's where the companionship and the relationship, that can be enough to defer that desire.
Thank you very much for speaking with us, Dr. Samaj.
My pleasure.
We were just joined by psychologist Dr. Leakim Samaj discussing the causes of holiday depression and how it can be addressed.